ever feel that eerie electric prickle at the back of your neck when you post that photo? The one where you're laughing a little too freely, living a little too brightly? You brush it off as imagination, wishful thinking, maybe even the remnants of that potent twin flame connection gone quiet. But deep in your bones, in the silent chamber where intuition hums its ancient song, you know. You know they've seen it. Years might have stretched like taffy since their voice last touched your ears, since their presence last warmed your space. Yet somehow, they're there, lurking in the digital gloaming, a ghost haunting the periphery of your online life, a phantom limb of a connection that refuses to fully sever. It's agony, isn't it? This silent surveillance. It feels like a cruel tease, a cosmic joke played on a heart already stretched thin by longing. You pore over the breadcrumbs, a sudden profile view from an account you can't quite pin down, a mutual friend's cryptic comment, the algorithm's uncanny timing, searching for meaning like a detective at a cold case scene, desperate for a sign, any sign that you haven't been utterly forgotten. That the fire you felt wasn't just your own reflection burning bright. But beautiful soul, what if I told you this haunting gaze, this spectral attention, is perhaps the most profound, unvarnished truth your runner will ever offer you? And it speaks volumes, not about your worth or the validity of your connection, but about the silent, desperate war raging within them. Imagine standing before a shattered mirror. Each shard reflects a fragmented piece of reality. A distorted eye here, a sliver of a smile there, a glimpse of the fear they can't name. This is the runner's inner landscape, that intense, soul-rending pull towards you. It's the jagged edge of their own reflection screaming for wholeness, not a beacon guiding them to you, but a klaxon blaring within them, signaling a profound disconnection from their own core. Meeting you was like dropping a perfectly tuned crystal bell into a room full of broken glass. The resonance was divine, undeniable, and utterly terrifying because it exposed every crack, every fissure in the fragile structure of their self-perception. Facing that symphony of dissonance, it requires courage they haven't yet mustered, the courage to pick up the pieces, not just admire the scattered, glittering chaos from a safe, silent distance. Think of their watching not as a love letter written in invisible ink, but as the frantic scribbling of a lost soul clutching a broken compass. True north for them lies inward, down the winding, shadowed path of self-confrontation and healing. Yet fear, that cunning saboteur draped in the cloak of self-preservation, keeps violently twisting the needle outward, pointing it relentlessly at you. If I just watch her navigate the storm, they whisper into the void. If I just see him building his ark, maybe, just maybe, I can absorb the blueprint for survival without ever getting my own hands wet, without ever feeling the terrifying lurch of the waves beneath my own feet. It's a tragic alchemy, this attempt to transmute passive observation into active healing. They become spiritual astronomers, peering through a high-powered telescope trained solely on your star, mistaking the light years' distant gleam for the warmth they could generate right here, right now, if only they dared to strike their own inner match. They siphon the idea of your radiance, the digital echo of your becoming, hoping it will illuminate their own darkness, not realizing it only deepens the shadows by comparison. It's like trying to warm frozen hands by holding them up to a painting of a roaring fire. The image offers no heat, only the poignant reminder of its absence. And the cost? It's a slow, silent freezing of the soul. The spectral vigil keeps them energetically shackled to the ghost of what could be, perpetually draining the vital energy needed to build the reality of who they must become. They linger in the purgatory of almost, feeding the connection just enough crumbs of attention to keep its faint pulse thready, but starving it and themselves of the oxygen of authentic courage, the raw fuel of vulnerability. They are tending a garden they refuse to enter, watering plastic blooms and wondering why the scent of real roses never fills the air. So, the question hanging heavy in the space between your heartbeats isn't really if they're watching, or even the surface why. It's this: what becomes possible for you right here, right now, in this wide open field of your own sovereign life, when you finally stop deciphering the static of their silence and start tuning into the crystal clear frequency of your own magnificent becoming. Because, darling, the symphony your soul is aching to play doesn't need an audience in the shadows to be heard across the cosmos. Ready to discover how turning down the noise amplifies your own divine signal? Let's begin. Let's get brutally honest about that quiet, persistent ache, the suspicion, the fleeting glimpse of a profile view from that account you can't quite prove is them, the way your intuition prickles long after midnight. You wonder, are they watching? Lurking in the digital shadows, scanning your life like some distant, disconnected satellite. On the surface, it feels like cruelty, like indifference wrapped in a thin veil of curiosity. Like you're a butterfly pinned under glass, observed but not touched, not lived with. But beautiful soul, what if I told you their silent surveillance is perhaps the most profound, agonizing confession they'll ever make? And it has absolutely nothing to do with punishing you. Think of your soul right now as a finely tuned instrument, a Stradivarius humming with potential. It resonates at a specific frequency. Call it alignment, call it truth, call it home. Meeting your twin flame. That's like another Stradivarius, crafted from the same rare wood by the same cosmic luthier, playing in perfect, resonant harmony beside you. The sound is shattering, divine. It vibrates through every atom of your being. For the runner, that resonance isn't just beautiful, it's terrifying. It's a sonic boom echoing in the caverns of everything they haven't healed, haven't faced, haven't loved within themselves. That perfect harmony demands they tune their own instrument. And tuning means confronting the discordant notes, the fears, the old wounds, the shameful whispers, the parts they've shoved into dusty attics of their psyche. Here's where the compass spins wildly off course. That intense magnetic pull they feel towards you, that's their own soul screaming, align, heal, come home to yourself. It's their internal GPS blinking furiously. Recalibration required. But facing the screen, seeing the recalibration needed alert flashing red, that means pulling over on the dark highway of their avoidance, getting out the tools, therapy, shadow work, brutal self-honesty, and getting dirty under the hood. It's messy. It's vulnerable. It means admitting the engine is sputtering. And honestly, who wants to do that when you can just keep driving on fumes, hoping the noise will magically stop? So what do? They mistake the symptom for the cure. They confuse the signal, the soul's desperate need for internal tuning. with the source of the signal, you, the chaser. Watching you becomes a bizarre, low-stakes substitute for genuine tuning. It's like a musician, terrified of hitting a wrong note during a crucial performance, spending hours watching recordings of flawless concerts instead of actually picking up their own damned instrument and practicing. They get a ghostly echo of the harmony, a faint digital whisper of the resonance, without the terrifying vulnerability of playing their own part. They observe the map, your life, instead of walking the territory, their own soul. This is the soul compass distortion. True north for the runner is internal alignment. But fear, oh that cunning saboteur, points the needle relentlessly outward towards you. If I just watch her heal, if I just see him thriving, if I can confirm they haven't forgotten me, then maybe I won't have to do the terrifying work of becoming whole myself. It's a perverse logic, born of profound disconnection. They siphon energy from the idea of the connection, from the digital breadcrumbs of your existence, mistaking this phantom energy for the real self-generated power that comes from inner work. It's like trying to light their own darkness with a flashlight app on a phone pointed at your sun. It gives a faint, flickering illusion of light, but leaves their own landscape utterly dark. They become spiritual peeping toms, mistaking the view through the window for actually stepping into the warm house. And the cost? Oh, the cost is a slow, silent suffocation. This passive observation isn't connection. It's suspended animation for their soul. It keeps them energetically tethered to the potential of union, to the ghost of love, while simultaneously preventing the very detachment and self-confrontation needed to make any union possible. They remain stuck in the cosmic waiting room, feeding the connection just enough crumbs of attention to keep it limping along in the shadows, but starving it and themselves of the real sustenance. Courage, vulnerability, the messy glory of authentic self-reckoning. It's like watering a plastic plant and wondering why it never blooms. The energy is there, the intention might even be there, somewhere deep down, but it's fundamentally misplaced. They're pouring water on the image of the flower, not the roots buried in their own soil. So, my dear beautiful chaser, when you feel that phantom gaze, when the algorithm mysteriously surfaces their name, when mutual friends drop cryptic hints, understand this. It's not a love letter. It's not a promise. It's not even really about you in the way your aching heart wants it to be. It's the muffled scream of a soul lost in its own labyrinth, clutching a broken compass, mistaking the distant echo of your song for the map back to their own voice. Their watching is the ultimate confession of their disconnection, not from you, but from themselves. It's the saddest, most honest prayer they know how to utter. I feel lost. I see your light. I don't know how to ignite my own. The question now isn't if they're watching, or even why in the shallow sense. The real question, the one that crackles with potential, is this: how long will you let their silent vigil distract you from the brilliant, resonant symphony your own soul is aching to play, with or without their accompaniment? Because tuning your instrument, that's where the real magic begins. And trust me, the sound is spectacular. Ready to discover how reclaiming your focus shatters the distortion for both of you? Let's dive deeper. Let's talk about that phantom limb of a connection, the one where you swear you feel their eyes on you across the digital void. Years after silence fell like a guillotine, you post a sunset photo, and somewhere deep in your bones, a quiet alarm pings. He saw this. She knows. It's not paranoia. It's that uncanny twin flame intuition, picking up on the faintest energetic tremor. But here's the twist you might not have considered. Their silent surveillance isn't just avoidance or curiosity. It's something far more intricate, more unconsciously cunning. It's energetic gatekeeping. And understanding this, it changes everything. Picture this. You're standing at the threshold of a magnificent, ancient doorway, the kind that leads to a garden where impossible flowers bloom under two suns. This is the potential of your union, the divine timeline your souls agreed to explore. Now imagine your runner, not gone, not fully present, but lurking, just out of sight, fingers lightly resting on the massive oak door. They're not walking through. They're not slamming it shut. They're holding it just ajar, enough to peek, enough to feel the draft of possibility, enough to ensure they control the hinge. That beautiful soul is the essence of gatekeeping. It's an attempt to manage the unmanageable, the sacred, messy, uncontrollable flow of divine timing from the shadows. Think of it as spiritual stockbroker syndrome. They're checking the market of you, your emotional state, your healing progress, your apparent availability, without ever investing their own vulnerable capital. Is she less intense now? They wonder, scrolling past your yoga retreat photos. Has he found someone else? They panic, spotting a comment from an unknown friend. They're projecting their own unfinished exams onto your life, waiting for you to pass their tests so they feel safe enough to maybe, possibly, consider showing up. It's like waiting for the ocean to calm before learning to swim. A fundamental misunderstanding of how growth works. And oh, the irony. This gatekeeping often masquerades as self-preservation. I'm just keeping tabs, the runner might whisper to their own aching heart, making sure the option is still there. But here's the brutal, beautiful truth whispered back by the cosmos. True union isn't an option you keep warm like leftovers in the microwave. It's a living, breathing, co-created reality that demands active participation from both souls. By keeping the door cracked, they're not preserving possibility, they're preserving stasis. They're trying to freeze dry potential while life, yours, theirs, the universe's, marches relentlessly forward. It's like trying to hold a snowflake intact in a closed fist. The tighter the grip, the faster it melts. What remains isn't beauty, just cold, damp regret. This isn't a victimless spiritual crime, darling. That subtle tether they're watching maintains, it's not a lifeline. It's an energetic leash for both of you. For them, it's an anchor in shallow waters, preventing the necessary voyage into their own deep, healing seas. Why brave the storm when you can watch the waves from the illusory safety of the shore, binoculars trained on your boat? For you, it's a constant, low-grade drain, a whisper in your energy field saying, stay available, stay tuned, don't fully move on, just in case they decide today's the day. It keeps a part of you perpetually on standby, like a phone waiting for a call that never comes, its battery slowly dying. It subtly undermines your sovereignty, your right to build a life so deliciously fulfilling that their presence becomes a joyful bonus, not a desperate necessity. You deserve a life that isn't a waiting room. Think of it energetically. That doorway they're guarding, it's not just theirs to control. It's a shared portal. By refusing to either walk through it fully or let it close completely, they're effectively blocking your access too. You're left standing in the hallway of your own life, unable to fully furnish the space beyond, because part of you is still waiting for permission from a ghost. It's spiritual hoarding, clinging to a dusty blueprint instead of building the actual house. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, won't deliver the furniture, new love, deep peace, explosive growth, while the hallway is cluttered with maybe someday. So, what's a sovereign soul to do? First, breathe deeply. This isn't about blame, it's about awareness. Recognizing the gatekeeping game for what it is, a profound expression of their fear and disconnection, frees you from taking it personally. It's not about your worthiness, it's about their readiness, or lack thereof. Your power lies not in convincing them to open the door, but in realizing you have your own damn key. You don't need permission to live. Here's your liberation playbook. Reclaim your energy. That tether? Visualize it dissolving. Golden scissors, white light, a simple, heartfelt declaration. I recall all energy tied up in waiting or surveillance. It returns to me now, fueling my present joy. Feel the surge of power coming home. Build your own garden. Stop staring at the guarded doorway. Turn around. Plant sunflowers where you stand. Build a fountain. Invite friends over for metaphorical picnics. Make your current reality so vibrant, so now, that the potential of that other garden becomes interesting, but non-essential. Thrive here. Bloom here. Set unapologetic boundaries. This isn't punishment, it's self-respect. If their silent watching disrupts your peace, block, delete, limit visibility. You wouldn't let a stranger lurk outside your bedroom window. Why tolerate it energetically? Protect your sanctuary. Your peace isn't negotiable. Surrender the timeline. For real this time. Stop trying to figure out their schedule. The divine choreography doesn't run on runner time. Focus on your rhythm, your healing, your magnificent unfolding. When you release the desperate need for their arrival, you create space for miracles, including the miracle of your own wholeness with or without them. The haunting truth is this: the runner, clinging to that door, is often more imprisoned than you are. They're frozen in a moment of fear, mistaking control for safety, observation for participation. Their silent vigil is a prison of their own construction, bars made of what if and not yet. Your freedom begins the moment you stop waiting at their gate and start exploring the boundless, beautiful territory of your own sovereign life. Because the most radiant gardens aren't found behind guarded doors. They're grown in the wide open fields of a heart that chooses itself fiercely and finally. So, that gnawing question, are they watching, has likely stolen more of your precious inner sunshine than you'd care to admit. It's become a phantom limb you keep trying to feel, a static hiss beneath the music of your own life. You've mapped their digital footprints like an archaeologist, deciphering lost runes, searching for meaning in the silence. But here's the luminous, liberating truth waiting for you just beyond the horizon of that fixation. They're watching, their silence, their entire intricate dance of avoidance. It was never the main event of your awakening. It was merely the dark velvet curtain parting. Think of your spirit not as a destination, but as a vast, starlit ocean. Meeting your twin flame was like a meteor streaking across that night sky. Dazzling, undeniable, illuminating the entire expanse for one breathtaking moment. The runner's retreat? That's the meteor plunging into the sea, leaving behind not emptiness, but a profound, rippling awareness of the ocean's own depth and power. Their lingering gaze from the distant shore. It's just a flickering campfire glimpsed far across the water. A tiny, human spark utterly dwarfed by the moon's own radiant path across the waves you navigate. Their surveillance isn't a searchlight trained on you. It's a tiny flashlight they're desperately shining into their own dense, uncharted forest, hoping to borrow your perceived glow to find their way. It illuminates their lostness, not your significance. Your liberation isn't found in decoding their static. It blooms when you finally drop the heavy binoculars trained on that distant shore and feel the cool and vital water swirling around your own ankles. Right here, right now. This is where the alchemy happens, not in the echo of their absence, but in the resonant fullness of your own presence. That intense pull you felt, it wasn't just towards them. It was a cosmic tug towards the undiscovered country within you. The runner's silence isn't a locked door. It's an invitation flung wide open to explore the magnificent, uncharted rooms of your own being. The gardens you cultivate within these walls, vibrant, fragrant, teeming with the life force of your passions, your healing, your hard-won joys, these become your true sanctuary. No phantom gaze can wither these blooms. No digital ghost can dim their color. Forget the exhausting spiritual detective work. Release the burden of interpreting their every unseen glance. That energy you've poured into the void. It's potent, sacred fuel. Reclaim it. Pour it into your soil. Tend your inner landscapes with the fierce tenderness you once reserved for waiting. Build bonfires of creativity on your own shores. Let your laughter be the wind in your sails. Become so utterly, unapologetically immersed in the vivid, messy, glorious experience of being you, right here, right now, that the distant flicker of their campfire becomes irrelevant. Just another star in a sky already ablaze with your own light. You stop being an exhibit in their unseen museum and become the curator of your own breathtaking, ever-evolving gallery. And here's the quiet miracle waiting in the wings. This profound turning inward, this fierce embrace of your sovereign wholeness doesn't isolate you from love's possibilities. It magnetizes them. It aligns you with the deeper, truer rhythm of the divine choreography. When you dance solely to the music of your own soul, unconcerned with who might be watching from the wings, you step into an authenticity that resonates across dimensions. You become a lighthouse, not a flickering candle hidden under a bushel. Union, if it's divinely ordained and mutually aligned, becomes a potential harmony, a joining of two complete melodies, not a desperate rescue mission for two fractured halves. And if the runner never drops their binoculars, darling, you've already won. You've reclaimed the vast, shimmering ocean of your own being. You are home. The most profound love story was always the one waiting to be written within you. So take a deep, free breath of this unshackled dawn. The horizon isn't something you strain to see anymore. It's something you carry within you, radiant and boundless. The question isn't, are they watching? The only question that truly matters now, whispered on the salt-kissed breeze of your own becoming, is this: what breathtaking shores will your sovereign light illuminate next? The tide is turning, the sails are filling, and the whole magnificent ocean awaits.